Hey guys, how you going? It's good to see you. Anyway, I found a really good article today. Going on what I said on the video, do you know what's coming? Sort of around that sort of idea. Exposing the globalist merchants. A return to truth is essential. Global oppression will continue despite multipolarity. ER editor. Chisinau, the capital of Moldova, see map below, in a minute you'll see it, is the location of the relatively new Chisinau Forum. Here is what the forum's about. Now let me just say several words about the origins of our initiative, which is called Chisinau Forum. The idea was discussed back in 2017 by a group of friends from different countries who share the same conservative, traditional, anti-system and anti-globalist values. Russian philosopher Alexander Dugin, French writer and journalist Constantine Pavlesco, Italian Orthodox priest Nicola Madaro, myself, E.R. Luri Rosca, and several other people decided to initiate this project as a regular international meeting which will bring together intellectuals who strongly oppose American hegemony, as well as Western supremacy, who contest the globalist agenda, and who plead for preserving cultural, religious, ethical, and national diversity, for spiritual and moral values, and for another, truly human, more fair and just society. Our conviction is that precisely this kind of cooperation between intellectuals from different countries can help dissident voices to become stronger in our confrontation with dominant discourse which is shaped by globalist elites against the interests of our nations. We all should know that by now. There is a small elite that want to try and run everything and get us into a globalist system, guys. So I hope you do know that. And now, why did we choose Chisinau for the place of our meetings? Because it is situated between the east and the west, and because this land must never be seen again as part of the dividing line of our continent, nor as part of the geopolitical struggles between the great international powers. In our view, after the end of the unipolar moment of American hegemony, Moldova, as part of our large motherland, the Eurasian continent, must become the land of cooperation, of confluences, of complementarity between different peoples, cultures and traditions which belong finally to the same continental civilization. Chisinau Forum filmmaker Paul Guitiu exposes global merchants. Sorry if I'm butchering these names, guys. Paul Guitiu, a Romanian writer, journalist, filmmaker and politician, examines how the globalist mafia may not vanish with the advent of multipolarity. And there's a video. I'll put this link in below so you can, in the description, so that you can have a look yourself and you can play the video if you like. Beyond multipolarity, this world is doomed. Are we prepared for the day after? I'll start by asking you to remember two biblical episodes. The first is the temptation of Adam and Eve in the Paradise Garden. The second, the expulsion of merchants from the temple. In the wonderful book of Michael Ende, Never-Ending Story, the fantasy land is under the threat of nothingness. That's quite our own and our world's story. Is multipolarity genuine? We gathered here to talk about multipolarity. Most of us, maybe all of us, are supporting and even delighted with this perspective. Is it a good thing? It certainly does look like that. Finally, the American empire is challenged and on the way of decay. But is multipolarity genuine? We have no clear answer to this. Personally, since multipolarity has been announced by Macron, who pointed to US, i.e. the American empire, as being guilty of Western decay, I believe it's not. Rather a step of their plan, or an evolution less favourable. But taken into account, don't tell me that Rothschild gave him some millions for a few days of work within his bank and let him be a free thinker. Macron's statement is not an admission, it is a roguery. Okay, folks, you won, we surrender, blah, blah, blah. To put to sleep our awareness, to make us believe that they are surrendering. Then there's Trump, or rather the forces behind him, a part of that globalist mafia who are active characters in this episode of Changing the World. And finally, but most important, don't forget that the World Governing Centre is more active and powerful than ever. UN with all its bodies and institutions and organisations, IMF, WB, HWO, United Nations Children's Fund, originally known as the United Nations International Children's Emergency Fund, WTO, and so on, promoting and imposing the most malign policies of our day, capital domination, impoverishment of the poor, and enrichment of the rich, migration, vaccination, LBTIzation, and gender agenda, and many others. I have a feeling that one more time they are trying to play us. As from that paradise scene, and more discernible for our civilization since the French Revolution, all the time they prepared some moments in advance, false flags, dead ends, false directions, and all the time we had to react. And looking around us, we can say that until now, they were almost completely successful. They never missed it. Will they miss it now? We have a multipolar world. Will these new poles work differently? Are these poles rejecting the economic oppressive foundation of our society and lives for a new vision? Will money tomorrow be less important than souls, than friendship, than respect, than love? I don't think so, and I'll explain why. But of course, genuine or not, we are supporting it as long as it means the decay of the empire as it stands today. So, in other words, I'm another one, guys. I don't necessarily like Trump very much. Like, I know there's a lot of lies being told about him, but I wasn't all for him either. But from what I've heard, I can understand what he's trying to do, which is pull down this whole system of corruption, guys. And as far as I know, the army asked him to run, and there was people who were good in the army that could see it going the wrong way, and they really wanted it to stop, guys. So they asked him to run because he was the least corrupt out of the whole bunch of corruptness and the only one with enough balls to pull it down. That's my honest belief, guys. I'm still not all for him. I'm waiting to see what happens because as I said, I'm watching everything from every point of view. And yeah, I do, but I am behind him if this is what he's doing. If what he's doing is what I've heard, then I'm behind him doing that. And I think everybody should be, because the other way was going to destroy all of us, everywhere, every country, guys. So we have to pull together now, and we have to realise that this is going on, and try and fix it somehow. Try and fix it ourselves, guys. Become more united instead of divided. Look, the media is trying to divide everyone, whether you're black or white, whether you're woman and man, now children against adults with Greta Thunberg. I still call her Thunberg. She reminds me of Thumbelina. Does anyone remember that? Thumbelina, tiny little thing. Thumbelina dance. Thumbelina sing. It's like a little puppet that Sorry, no offence to the poor girl. I think someone needs to grab her in their arms. Her mother needs to hold her in her arms and tell her it's going to be all right. The world's not going to end. That's just insanity. Anyway, guys. Okay, he's going to explain. A non-human world, the empire of capital. Relate paradise temptation with nowadays rejection of God, since we declare ourselves gods. Relate the expulsion of merchants from the synagogue, who is now in power in our world. The merchants, what have they done? They offered us the fruits of liberalism, the upper part, the apparently decent and beneficial part of the capital ideology, and we bit deep into it. We're not living in a human world anymore. Until recently, human societies and state labels were related to something human: activity, tools, relations, hierarchy or social status, and so on. We lived in the Stone Age, Bronze Age, Iron Age, slavery, feudalism, slave state, monarchy, royalty, republic, democracy, aristocracy, one of the three state forms of Aristotle's. But the world we are living in is capitalist or socialist or communist, the lower levels of the capital ideological stack. Today we are liberals, socialists, communists, all ideological identities, all coming from the same source, the emerging capitalism of humanist and illumination ages, looking for a way to catch the global power, namely to legitimize itself as the new religion of the world. Today money is the main determinant of truth. Truth is what money says, and money has the power to enforce truth. Real truth, such as I attempt to tell, is not welcome today in any government or ruling interest anywhere in the Western world or in those countries that have been corrupted by the Western world. Indeed, the enemy of truth today is no longer in Moscow or China. The enemy is in Washington, New York, Hollywood, CNN, MSNBC, NPR, New York Times, Washington Post, and in universities and scientists who lie for money and don't think they don't. They're only human guys. And in the super rich who control these entities, including Congress, the executive branch, and Oval Office and judiciary. Paul Craig Roberts, truth is an endangered species. A world in metastasis. Oh, keep moving it. The globalist financial backing mafia won't vanish if multipolar world is emerging. They will continue to be here, under the table napkin, under our pillow, in our houses and cars, in all our devices that fill the void of our lives, under the new cultural foundation, everywhere within the educational system, under the social networks, under the 99% of our daily existence, with huge amounts of money, with a large part of the earth in their possession, with hundreds of millions of subjects in their transnational and national companies, state structural network, the civil society, media, and so on. We are living in a world that is nearly completely surrendered to money, and money has no other religion, no other ground rule than its multiplication. It has no feelings. Hate is coming from its master. No pain, it can't cry, it can't laugh or dream. It is always hungry. They are cold-blooded killers, and they are profoundly 100% despotic. No sympathy, no chemistry, no mercy, no goodwill. These are the elites, guys. Nothing more than money. More void, more nothingness. That is why any other values, any other principles opposed to them have to be perverted, annihilated, without mercy. Without all these, we can't have illusions. About all these, we can't have illusions. Everything is crystal clear. Our world is dealing with cancer, a huge tumour which is not so easy to spot since it hides behind national and international institutions and bodies. But the real deadly problem is that it infected every cell of mankind's body, of the human societies. The cancerous cells are everywhere, and in nearly all, apparently, sound cells, the virus is present in latent form. We are speaking their way. We are thinking their way. We are eating, sleeping, loving, hating, wasting our time their way. We are clones of the ever-perfect slave they developed in their social laboratories. So if we want to have a better world, we have to reject everything that's theirs. Do you understand, guys? If you don't understand what I'm saying, please go and watch my video on Do You Know What's Coming? Watch 1, 2, and 3. Because I believe that we have a way, guys. Sorry, the glare from my glasses. We have a way out of this, but we need to recognize it and take it. And we need to do it ourselves. And it's going to be hard work, but we need to do it. We can't wait for other people to do it for us, guys. We've got to be part of this. Trump and the team cannot do it on their own. The people, we have to be part of this, guys. Have to be part of this change. Okay, back to it. These people, these servers of evil, will not stop. So even if we do defeat them, guys, we always have to be aware. We need to tell the next generations to be aware of these people and to keep telling the generations after that, because they will come back. They've done this before. If you look back at real history, not what we've been told at school, go back and look at real history. Look at the money makers or the money masters. It's a 3.5 hour documentary or more, or around 3.5 hours. And it shows you exactly how all this started, guys, with the Rothschilds as the start. And it went from there to the Rockefellers and the Carnegies, and it goes on, guys. It's a very good documentary. It's very worth the 3 hours or 3.5 hours that it takes to watch it. These people, these servers of evil, will not stop. The algorithm implanted inside them pushes them continuously on the way to man's enslavement, of God's creation demolition. They are adjusted to go up to the complete end, the destruction of the whole planet. And I think there will be soon destruction, pain and death. If ever something will succeed in opposing them so hard as to counter and defeat their projects, they are ready to blow up everything. They really are, guys. So that's why you got to watch these false flags. There are reasons they will not do it. First, God's will. Second, because up to now there was not such a force opposing them. Third, perverting people before killing them is more sweet victory for the devil than killing them directly. A long agony of tantalizing ritual before death. And it is their way, guys. And even if you don't believe in God, do you believe in anything? Do you believe that we just, like we didn't, okay, look at real history again. We did not. Darwin's theory of evolution is a theory, guys. It is not a proven fact. It is not science. It is a theory. That's all it is. And it will be a theory until someone counters it and changes it, and it'll become something else. We did not evolve from fish from the ocean. We did not grow legs and carry, like, guys, come on. Really. You need to think about it and think, okay, if that's the case, where are all these missing links? Every missing link they have found so far has been a fake. Every single one of them. They've got a monkey's top of the head and a human jawbone, and they've managed to file them and put them all together. And guys, it's fake. So even if you don't believe in God, do you believe there's something out there? Something that designed this, something that started all this? We are so complex, guys, that we didn't just evolve. Anyway, I'll agree to disagree with you if you don't believe in God. But anyway, I'll keep going, guys. Okay, we are facing three main alternatives. Multipolarity is fake. They succeed in enslaving the world, but not all the people, and not forever, God's will. Later, they start fighting each other as far as the destruction of the world. And another thing about believing in God, if you have ever read the Bible, we are following it to the T, to the letter, guys. The book of Revelations. Just go through it all. Go through, listen. You can find it on YouTube too. They read it to you. It is long, but it's worth just listen to the book of Revelations. And when you think of things as metaphorical, like a beast with 5 heads or whatever, it's metaphorical for countries and rulers and, yeah, things like that, guys. The Bible is metaphorical, history, and prophecy, as far as I can understand it. Okay. Okay. Will not forever, God's will. Later they start fighting with each other as far as the destruction of the world. Okay, number 2, multipolarity is genuine, opposed not only to the fake American empire, but to the real, which is the Rothschild empire, but to the real empire of capital, mainly to the Anglo-Zionist core of it, the Rothschilds. Yeah, and their little lackeys. The imperialists will start the war. A large part of the world is destroyed. That is the true purpose of the missile bases around China and Russia. Russia and China. Or multipolarity is actually genuine, but societies and states compromised in the new poles are infected, and the next generations will kneel before the same tenebrious master. So they've only given you 3. I believe there's another way out, guys. And I think if Trump succeeds, that's our only hope at the moment. I'm really sorry to say that, but it is. If they don't succeed, if Trump and the team don't succeed, we're gone. This will all come true. All this, we will be controlled completely. The only solution, returning to truth. If any of the above variants, the future is not all serene. On the contrary, it looks quite dark. Friends, help. Unfortunately, since it enforces in us the belief that we are gods, technology is not really our friend. Neither demography, the birth rate, nor the population distribution between cities and villages. The same with culture, education, state structures. This is not very well written, guys. I understand what they're trying to say, but I think they've left some out, and some of their spelling and their grammar. The place of world transformation goes increasingly on and on. We are talking about multipolar world that is emerging, but tomorrow morning it will have already gone away. Multipolarity will be just something we're left behind, and we have to already think about the future, to try for once in our history to think ahead of them. What is the next formula? What do we need to overcome? And I believe a lot of it's fake media. Guys, don't listen to, honestly, the media is fake. All of it. The radical and only solution to abandon everything that ties us to this fake world. Concepts, ideology, dogmatism, words, references, habits, objects. We should abandon everything we are criticizing our enemies for. Outer features, but mainly inner ones. If we're looking only for a new way, a new solution to change the world for the better, without first changing ourselves, we will continue to work their will. The real and only solution is the old one of changing us, i.e. to reset our inner according to the model of Jesus Christ, to that kind of thinking, speaking and acting, to go back to truth. So guys, I think that's it for tonight. That's it for tonight. That's it for tonight's article, again from Europe Reloaded. I'll put the link below, but think about what I said, and even think about what I've said before in Do You Know What's Coming? Because, we can do this. It takes enough of us to do it, guys, and to turn away from the system, and the system won't work anymore. And with more and more people waking up, I believe it's quite possible to get our way out of this. Now, I already know that Trump and his team have fought off some false flags that they're trying to do, and we've been told by, I follow Q as well. I don't know if you know what that is, QAnon, but they are telling us it's okay. It's going to be okay. They've got it. They've got it. They know everything that these people are doing. They're watching them, and that we're safe. But we have to have our eyes open, guys. Be aware of our surroundings. Okay, you see something, say something, or get out of there. You see something weird or you don't feel right, get out of there. Okay? Okay, guys, I hope you have a good one, and it's school holidays, so I'm having trouble. The only time I can do a video is when the kids go to bed. So, but I will be moving in a month or so. I'll have a lot more free time to dedicate to doing more videos, so that should be pretty good. And yeah, guys, I hope you have a good night. It's 7:50 p.m. here on Thursday, the 3rd of October. So if you're in America, I'm coming to you from the future. Okay, guys, I hope you have a good night, and yeah, just be ready for anything. It could go heads up, but look, it could also turn out really good if we all, um, if we get enough people who are awake, who know that the way we live is wrong, um, and never to trust the TV. Don't ever trust the TV, guys. Trust yourselves, and look up. Do your research. Look up stories when you're told stories. Look them up. Try and dig deeper. You'll find the truth, guys. Anyway, that's what I'm here for. We'll all look together, eh? Okay, guys, I hope you have a good one. Okay, catch you soon. Bye.